What's good, YouTube? Mama J back in the kitchen. Tonight, I'm going to be making a quinoa chicken pesto bowl. So let's get started. I just went and got some olive oil, fresh olive oil that we're going to be using. So we'll get that a little bit warm here, turn the flame up. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pan frying my chicken. And I have seasonings, garlic, oregano, basil, and black pepper. And here's the quinoa. We'll get that started a little later. We're going to be adding shredded carrots. I'm going to be doing a dry roast tomato. I'm going to marinate it in the olive oil. And then we have crumbles of feta cheese that we'll be putting in there. So, oh, and also we will be putting kale. You'll see at the end, it's this beautiful bowl. See you back in a bit. So let's see if the oil's getting warmed up here. Now, this is a meal that we had in Florida. It was really, really good. And I thought about it and I asked the family, did you guys like that chicken pesto quinoa bowl? And they said yes. So I'm going to do a copycat. And I'm going to kind of make it my own way, but somewhat of a copycat. But it was so, so good. That's why I want to make it again. And I would like for you guys to give it a try. Try making it yourself and tell me what you guys think. And also, would you like and subscribe? And please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. I got quite a bit of chicken here. So we'll get that browned up here. So I'll put some garlic. And we love garlic. If you've seen my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. Garlic is yummy. And then we also have some oregano. And I like to put it in the palm of my hands like this. And then I go like this to give it a little bit of a grind. And it brings out the flavor more. Oh my God, does that smell delicious. And I love basil. Basil has got a nice little sweet taste to it. So I'm going to do the same thing. Give it a little grind. Oh my God, that smells good. And we'll put some black pepper. I don't really use salt. So if you guys want to put salt, go ahead. I mean, we're going to have salt already from the feta cheese, so we don't want too much sodium. But let's give this a turn here. And while the chicken's browning, I'm going to get the quinoa started because you have to rinse it. And that takes a little bit of time. You have to rinse it till it's clear. So we'll get started with that. You're supposed to run some water until it's clear. So let's just see. It says just have it running under cold water. So I'm just going to pour some in a strainer. And then you actually want to measure this out. So I will measure it once I get this all cleaned up. And this is an organic quinoa. So I think this is pretty much cleaned out already anyway. As you can see, the water is running clear. So I believe this is cleaned up, but I still want to do what you're supposed to. Run it under cool water and clean it up. Okay, so that's fine right there. I'm just going to let that sit there for now. Excuse me. So you want to boil 2 cups of water. That I didn't close, so I'll mess with that in a little bit. So this is 1. And then 2 cups. And then you just want to bring that to a boil. You can use water or you can use a broth. I'm just using water right now because you're going to get all these other flavors anyway. So I'll see you back in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to broil. Actually, let me take this pan out. I'm sorry. I forgot that I had this in there. we're gonna broil the tomatoes. I got a small kitchen, but you guys will see once we move to our new house, I'll have more space to be doing all this beautiful cooking for you guys. Let me just stir my chicken real quick here. Let me ask you, what is your favorite meal? Have you guys ever been to Florida before? If so, let me know what kind of meals did you have down there, and maybe I can make the meal, do a copycat meal. And then you guys can let me know what you think of it. So that's still got to cook. Now what I'm going to do, I already washed off my tomatoes. So, and I put this foil in here so that it'll marinate the tomatoes really good. So I'll put a little bit of the oil on the bottom. And then you want to just slice them in half. And then you put face down. So this is going to take a little bit more time. This is probably not a 30-minute meal. This one's going to take a little bit more time, but it'll be well worth it. This is very delicious. Like I said, I had this in Florida, and it was very good. I mean, these tomatoes have such a delicious, rich taste. It's something that you'll never forget. It's very, very good, especially being in Florida, enjoying this beautiful meal. So they all got to be face down. I mean, I was just enjoying these tomatoes. I just kept telling the waitress, these are so, so delicious. So I'll see you guys back in a bit, okay? This takes too long to cut these tomatoes.
Did you see what I had on the screen for you?
No.
I said, talk about your garden.
Okay, so as I'm prepping the tomatoes, like I said, this meal takes more than 30 minutes. So I have my boiling water, and then it says to add your quinoa. And this should probably take about 12 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So I just gotta, so that came to a boil. And then it says just to simmer it for like 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna turn down the heat. I'll have to keep eye on that too. And then you do cover it. And another thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys is that we're gonna be moving. And of course we're gonna have a bigger kitchen. And I'm going to have a nice garden. So we're going to have fresh herbs and spices. I'm going to be planting jalapenos and green peppers, cucumbers, lettuce. It's going to be all nice, fresh ingredients. So I hope that you guys will continue watching me and see what else that I'm going to be cooking. I'm really, really excited. I'm excited about the move. I'm excited about doing my garden. And I'm excited that you guys are watching my channel and supporting me. Thanks a lot. I appreciate everything. I appreciate much love. Okay, so the tomatoes are all sliced. I'm going to add a little bit of basil. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the olive oil. And this is a nice fresh olive oil that we just picked up. So you want to saturate your tomatoes. Oh my God, these are so delicious. You guys got to try them. And then I want that oil to stay in the pan, so I'm going to kind of drizzle this on top of the chicken bowl once I'm done. So I'm going to stick these in the oven, maybe 5 minutes. I'll check them. So I'm going to put my timer on. And I'll put the timer on, I say maybe 5 minutes. So we'll give that a try. And check the chicken right away. You want to get all these flavors marinated together. So I'll flip this all around. Yeah, sometimes when you don't have a lot of time, I do the 30-minute quick meals, just a quick meal. But today, I happen to be off. So I'm going to make a meal that is longer than 30 minutes. And we were actually busy looking for some other houses. We did put an offer on a house, but we were outbidded. That was sad to say because it was a beautiful big kitchen, in-ground pool, beautiful patio, and a huge backyard, where I can do all my gardening. And I want to have some fruit trees and make fresh juice. So we'll get that chicken cooking a little longer. And I'll see you back in a bit. So let's just take a peek on the tomatoes. I think they can cook a little bit longer. They look beautiful. Look at that. Just wait till I have my own garden. I cannot wait. So I'm going to put it on for maybe 3 more minutes. Oh, you can just smell them. They smell delicious. All right, let me stir my chicken. Like I said, this meal takes longer to cook. So if you have the time, go ahead and cook this meal on a day that you have time, because it's well worth it. And just think, when we have our own garden, I'm going to have fresh basil and all these different seasonings, all these herbs and spices, and just use fresh, and it's going to taste so much better than just the jar stuff. If only you guys could smell that. It smells so delicious. So I'm going to steam the carrots, because once everything is done, then you mix everything together to make your bowl. And my tomatoes are going off right now. So let me check my tomatoes. We got chicken cooking, got the quinoa going, we got the tomatoes going. Actually, I want to fire roast them a little bit more. So I don't know. Just got to test and see how much longer. I think we'll just do 4 minutes. I did add quite a bit of oil, so maybe that's why it's taking a little longer. But now I do want to put some carrots in the microwave. And you don't need a lot. You just want a little bit of carrots for the color and a little bit of the taste, okay? So you don't want to overdo it with the carrots, even though carrots are good for you. But I will microwave these and steam these up. Put them on for 5, because you don't want to have crunchy carrots in this. Everything was a nice tender taste, I should say. The tomatoes are delicious, the carrots. And then I'm going to use some kale. The kale is frozen kale, which I'll just mix in the hot batch of food, because they're already cooked. So let's just see. Let's check the chicken. And all the juices from the chicken I will be mixing in there too. You can cut the chicken smaller. Or you can just leave it the size that I have. I thought this looked good like that. So I have the carrots in the microwave, the tomatoes are cooking, and then all I gotta do is crumble up the feta cheese, and then I got this pesto sauce I'm gonna put on, so I'll have to stir that around because it's got oils in there. I'm just gonna check the quinoa, see how that's coming along. Well, it's looking beautiful. Still gotta cook a little bit longer. Like I said, this is a very, very good bowl. My granddaughter just loved it. My timer's buzzing for the tomatoes. We're going to check the tomatoes. Here, take a peek at the chicken. Carrots are in there. Quinoa's cooking. Let's see about these tomatoes. Now that's what we're talking about. Sun-dried, yummy tomatoes. Turn the chicken off. I'm going to be ready to put everything together. The quinoa's done. Let's look at this. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me check my carrots. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a partial of a mixture. That's why I have this other kettle out, because you kind of want to combine some things together. So let me put a little bit of kale. You don't want to overpower it with the kale. This is a little more time-consuming meal. So maybe about like that much kale. And let me just get a spoon to stir everything. Just do this one. So I'm going to add the steamed carrots. So you have tomatoes, and then you have the carrots. Get that out of my way for now. Mush that around, okay? Then we're gonna add some of these sun-dried tomatoes, and you can see all that nice olive oil in there. Look at that. Oh my God, you guys, you're in for a treat. These are so delicious. I'm gonna put some in, and then I'm gonna leave some just to top it with. But like I said, I wanted to get some of those juices in there. Look at that. Look how beautiful it's looking. And then I'm going to add a little bit of chicken, because then you want to top it. So let's just get some of the chicken in there. Oh, and then we also have to do a little bit of crumbled feta cheese. So what I'm going to do is put some of the quinoa in here. And let me just mix that around, so I don't want to forget anything. But I'm telling you guys, this is a good meal. So delicious. Some people might say, oh, it doesn't look so good. Oh, it's delicious. My granddaughter loved it. We were sitting in Florida, sitting on a beach and enjoying this meal. And I asked her, did she want a bite? She goes, no. And then I'm like, it's really good. She goes, yeah, actually, Grandma, I want a bite. She took a bite, and guess what? She took the rest of my whole bowl. I'm telling you, it's a really good meal. Look at that. See all these pretty colors in there? I almost forgot. We got to add pesto in there too, so let me just get a spoon to give it a quick stir. A special spoon I like to use, the long handle spoon. So let me just stir some of that, because you can see the oils are just sitting on the top. So, and I love pesto. So I'm probably going to put a good amount in. I'll have to clean all this up. I don't like a mess. And then you do top this with pesto. And I'm going to have to take a taste of this when I'm done prepping all this. It looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to crumble up a little bit of feta cheese. Just want to get a fork and a spoon, because I don't like touching feta cheese. I love the way it tastes, but I don't like touching feta cheese. Have you guys ever tried feta cheese? It's very good. I had a few people that thought they didn't like it because of the way it smells. It doesn't smell all that great, but it tastes so good. So you just want to crumble a little bit up. They did have a little bit of chunks when we were in Florida, so I'll leave it a little bit chunky. And they did have it topped with a little bit of feta cheese also. I don't want to put too much because it's overpowering. Okay, so I'm going to add some of the feta cheese. I don't want all of it in. I'm going to put some on the side. Stir this up. And if I have any subscribers from Romania, hello, I am Romanian. And that's where we get the feta cheese. We love the feta cheese. My father used to bring feta cheese home to us all the time. But look at that. It looks good. Okay, so since I have that prepped, I'm just going to have a sample taste, okay? So this is what you guys would do. Just take a small scoop of it, right? And then actually I want to have a little bit of chicken on the top. Just one piece is good enough, because you have the chicken in the middle. Top it with the tomato. Add just a little bit of the pesto sauce. And then just a little bit of feta cheese. And look at that. But I'll have to sample it and I'll tell you guys how it tastes. I'll tell you if it tastes just like the one we had in Florida. Oh my God. It tastes just like the one we had in Florida. This is delicious. You guys have to try making this and leave me a comment and tell me how did yours turn out, okay? Like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching. But I gotta take one more bite.
Hit the bell.
And do me a favor. Hit the bell. Thanks for watching.